Rangers. All right, so this week's homework and the purpose of today's video is to show you how to, all right, the homework focuses on 3 little skills, okay, that I'd like you to know. So let's jump right into it. So go ahead, because we have to do 3 questions. Now, the ratio, I'll start reading, okay? The ratio of adults to students on a field trip is 1 to 9. So for every 9 children, there is 1 adult that goes with them on a field trip. All right, understood? Which graph shows the relationship between adults X and the number of students Y? So X has to be the bottom where it's labeled adults, first and foremost. So let's look at these 4 graphs, because you get 4 choices, right? So A, X, adults, yeah, looks fine there. B, X, adults, okay. I'm just trying to see the obvious wrong answers. C, X, adults, okay, all right, so nothing. Yep, 4, X, adults, so everything is fine so far. So now we need to find the unit rate, right, so to speak. So we need one where the adults is 1. Let me see if I can write this. So I want a graph where X, which stands for adults, will be 1, and Y, which stands for students, right, would be 9, or any of that combination, meaning the table should look something like this, right? 1 adult, 9 kids, 2 adults, 18 kids, 3 adults, 27 kids, so on and so forth. Okay, so that's the table that even if you don't write it, will be in your mind. So which one matches that? Well, let's look at A. A is 1 to the right, 1 up, so no, that's not good. All right, B is 9 to 9, right? 9 here and 9 here, so that's still 1 to 1, so that's not good. C, 1 adult, 9 children, so there we go. We have our answer, is C, okay? And then we put in the choice, and D is not. D is 9 adults for 1 kid, okay? Can't be, so it's C. All right, so now there's a second question I'd like you to answer. Okay, second type of question. Interpret point of a graph. Okay, all right. So this is the kind of question you have to do now. So I'll read. Hannah practices the piano the same number of minutes each day. All right, very nice of her. The relationship between the number of days, X, so number of days is down here, as you can see, and it is number of days, okay? And the number of minutes she practices, Y, is on the table below. So the question is something like this. What does 7, 105, right? What does this order pair indicate? What does that tell you, right? Well, first comes X, so let me write this down. Do I have to? Sure, right? Days is 7, so this is days. And the second number indicates the minutes. So it's 105 minutes for every 7 days. So how many minutes per day is it, by the way? Just curious. Yeah, 15. Right? Because all I did was this. All I did was did 105 divided by 7. Okay? So she practices 15 minutes a day. Now, if you trace the graph, by the way, even though this point is 7, 105, if you look at 1, so if I go to the right, let me use a different color. If I go to the right to 1 and I go up here, you realize this number, if you trace back, that's 15. Now, you can't see that because it doesn't say 15, but it confirms our suspicions, I guess. So let me see what our choices are. So Hannah practices 105 minutes a day. That's not true, right? She didn't practice 105 minutes a day. She practiced 15 minutes a day. Hannah practiced a total of 105 minutes over 7 days. That's true. Hannah practices 7 minutes a day. Not true. She practiced 15 minutes. And Hannah practiced a total of 7 minutes over 105 days. That would be tragic. That means she practices for like a few seconds. All right? So that has to be our second answer. Okay? All right. Let's do one more. Last one. So this one's find unit rate on graph. Okay, that's good. So find unit rate on graph. Okay, so this one is a little more related to how we solved the last one, actually. All right, ready? Jeriel has gotten a new job. The relationship between the number of hours he works, X, so down here is the number of hours, as you can see, and the Y, the money, is by below. So which one's the unit rate? Now remember, unit rate is always, right, in case we haven't talked about it, unit rate, K, concept of proportionality, is always the Y value divided by X. Meaning, since this is X and this is Y, we go to the right till we hit 1, and then we look up. And in this case, I'm circling the answer, is 15. So what does that mean, right? Well, it means he makes 15, because this is money, right, in dollars. So that means he makes $15 per 1 hour. That's what's happening. Jeriel is making $15 per hour, right? Because you can see this, right? $30, 2 hours, $60, 4 hours. The rate never changes. It's always $15 per hour. Okay, so what does that mean, right? Which choice do we pick then? Well, which one do we choose? Do we choose the first one or the third one? 1 comma 15 or 15 comma 1? What do you think? Yeah, it's the first one. It's $1. No, 1 hour, $15. Because 1 is X, so this is X. So this is X, this is Y. So X means hours, right? So 1 hour, how much money? $15. That's what this point means, okay? All right, so let me submit. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. So go ahead and do the homework. There's no quiz on Thursday this week, so let's just focus on the homework, okay? All right, thanks for watching. Have a good day, and I will see you guys. Now, tomorrow we have a day off, so I'll see you guys back in class on Wednesday, okay? All right, bye now.
OMG, that was so good.